and welcome to the APMA podcast. I'm Lozzy. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a good New Year's, whatever you were doing. I hope if you had a messy one, you've survived, you got through it, and if you're a bit promiscuous, I hope the clap goes away soon. But, look, I'm on my own today, okay? My fault. I've planned to do something on the Thursday evening, so I can't do the podcast on the Thursday evening live, but I'm sure next week we will be able to. If I can get my words out, it will be the 11th next Thursday. So all things should be fine. But anyway, yes, I hope you've had a good New Year's. I didn't drink a lot of New Year's, but it felt like it did, just because I'm getting older and it doesn't take a lot anymore to put this kid down. And I don't know why I just described myself as a kid. I'm nearly 30 years old. 30 fucking years, on this planet. That's, I don't know how long my life expectancy is, but let's go with 90 at the absolute best, right? Because, as you can tell, I've not, if you're watching this, you know that my body is just screaming at me, and it has been for like the best part of 20 years. But you know what? You just dial it down. You dial it down, and now you just can't hear it. I'm taking steps. But anyway, look. Best case scenario. Best case. A third of my life. Gone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a great time. I hope, you've just come to the realisation that maybe you are in the same boat. If you are approaching 30, a third of your life has gone. Welcome. Enjoy the podcast. It's going to be an uplifting one. Believe it or not, it is actually going to be an uplifting podcast. That was the plan anyway. I don't know if that's going to go to plan based on what's happened this far, and we're like 2 minutes in. So, strap in. And if you're that way inclined, strap on. Because it's a new year. New you. I hate that fucking saying. But anyway, look, this episode's going to be hopefully a bit of a uplifting one, just to get you. A lot of people this time of year, I've done it myself many times. I now am dead set against doing this just because of how many times I've failed, and it's just not a thing that works. And if you've seen the thumbnail, you know what we're going to be talking about. New Year's resolutions. They just don't work. They just don't work. A lot of people set them on January the 1st. Like, if you literally set yourself the goal of eating healthier, losing weight on January the 1st, literally the clock ticks over to 12 o'clock, midnight, and you're there going, I'm going to eat healthy now. That's not going to happen. It just won't happen. And in my experience, it definitely hasn't worked. And I'm not alone, because I have some statistics to back what I'm saying up, which is rare. I don't just make these things up and say them, I'm an absolute wealth of knowledge and statistics. The levels of autism in my mind, just, you know what I mean? I don't know why I said that, to be honest. Don't know why, but we'll carry on. But yeah, I'm a wealth of knowledge. At least, I hope I am. I'm not a wealth of knowledge. I know some facts. I know some statistics. All right. If you just saw a jump cut, by the way, this is going to be this is for people obviously going to be watching it, not listening to it, because you won't hear the jump cut. You can only really see it. If you did just see a jump cut like 20 seconds ago, that's because I made a joke about something that I deemed not great to put into the podcast. So we'll see how brave I am, and if I've kept it in, you would have heard it and you would have seen it. And if I didn't keep it in, people watching this would have seen the jump cut, and you know that I am a pussy. But there we go. I started 2024 really fucking strong. But yeah, New Year's resolutions. First of all, my New Year's was very good. I enjoyed it, had a few drinks, had a lot to eat. As you do at Christmas, I went big this year, as I do every year. I was saying I went big. That's it. That is my default setting. But I did enjoy myself. It wasn't as messy as a few New Year's parties have been messy, and it's not been a great time. But yeah, I'm going to try my best not to, get people down, because I want this to be an uplifting podcast. Basically, the premise of this podcast is I know a lot of people listening to this, a lot of people watching this will have made New Year's resolutions, and I guarantee you some people who have made those resolutions have already broken them and have already fucked them off. By the time this goes out, it will be the 4th of January. 4 days into January, and people will have fucked off their New Year's resolutions. And I know that because I know people who have, and I have. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, right, it's probably about time you start, doing some exercise a bit more, eating a bit healthier. January the 1st, I said it on January the 1st. And then my mum was like, she's got some leftover food here. Do you want to take it? Do you want to take it home? Mum, what you doing? Yeah, bag it up. Give us a little baggie. Give us a little goodie bag. But yeah, it's meant to be uplifting. I hope it will be. We're going to go into what the most common ones are. I'm sure most people already know what the most common ones are. But yeah, there's some statistics in the UK. It seems like younger people are more inclined to make New Year's resolutions, and like the older you get, the less you give a fuck. So, I mean, that kind of tracks, kind of makes sense. I know some people will have the New Year's resolution of drinking more water. Stay hydrated. I mean, I've got a water bottle here, but I've also got a leftover can from Christmas. This is not, it's basically Fanta Lemon, but it's like the Lidl or Aldi brand. And it's 0 sugar. Well, it says it's 0 sugar. Could be a lie, because who checks these things? But it tastes good. So I'm just going to have this last can, and it will be the last one, then I'm back on water. I mean, I do still drink water, so, don't be concerned. I've not fallen off the wagon. But all I'm saying is that a New Year's resolution that's quite common is to drink more water. It is a vile substance if you just drink it out of the tap. Honestly, it's just... got me refreshing. Oh, God, that got me in the throat. Yeah. Carbonated drinks, you love them. You love them. But water, depends on where you live. If you're living in the north, the water tends to be, in my personal opinion, a little bit better to drink. I know when I was in York a few years ago, for I think it was like 7 or 8 weeks, the tap water there was glorious. Well, not glorious. It wasn't as good as like bottled water, but the tap water was very passable, and that is, to me, that's a win. But yeah, I now just put up with the fact that this, once was a nice bottle of water, that even me saying a nice bottle of water makes me a bit depressed, just because it's like the most boring of fucking drinks. But it is good for you. I mean, we have survived on water for quite a while, so yeah. But bottled water is obviously superior to tap water. But again, that is a resolution a lot of people have, and I wish you well in it. I'm not going to plug something. I mean, I am, but I'm not getting paid for it or anything. You know what I mean? There is a product called Air Up. Let me just see if I can get it up on screen for people who are watching. For the audio listeners, basically, it's a water bottle, right? And it has like a disc that goes over the top of the mouthpiece that you drink from. And it is like, this disc has the scent, and there's like different flavours. You can have like cola, lemon, lime. There's a coffee one. Don't know why the fuck you'd have that, but the coffee one, there's a mixed berry. There's like orange and raspberry or something like that. There's quite a few different flavours, is what I'm getting at, basically. And how it works is very interesting, because I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was 100% bullshit, They speak the bullshit. But you essentially fill the bottle up with water. There's a straw that goes from the nozzle at the top down to the bottom, obviously, so the water gets drawn up from it when you suck the water through the straw, as you do. And this disc on the top, if you kind of like lift it up slightly, still not, don't lift it completely off, but just lift it up slightly, and then you drink the water from the bottle. The fragrance from the disc makes you taste what the flavour is. It's not like, it's not like drinking cordial, or squash, but you can get the subtle taste of it, and it is quite good. I did that for quite a long time to get onto water, and now I've just been able to fuck the bottle off. And the refills, because the refills are quite fucking expensive. They're a bit fucking expensive. But it was good kind to get me off of like just drinking Pepsi and Pepsi Max and all that shit. And then replacing that with maybe more water, which I think for everyone would be a good idea. But yeah, maybe try it out. I'm going to get it on the screen for the video watchers, or the watchers of the video. You know what I mean? I don't know why I needed to put video in there. Air Up, I think it's called. Air Up. It sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Trust me, it is actually pretty cool. Right, let's put this on screen. So, you essentially get the bottle, right? Where are the discs? The pods. They call them pods. Okay, that's cool. Right, they do cola pods, they do chocolate orange pods, cherry pods, iced tea pods, watermelon. That can get fucked. I hate watermelon. It's such a shite flavour. They got so many more flavours than when I was doing this. This was like maybe early last year, or maybe it was early 2022. No, it must have been early 2022. My hair is absolutely just raging. Yeah, iced coffee, mango passion fruit, coconut, honeydew melon, lavender. Ugh! Fuck that. Ugh. Yeah, as you can see, you get 3 pods, right? And I think 3 pods equals 15 litres of water, like, that you will be able to taste the flavour. Obviously, it fades after a while, so you have to replace the pods or the discs. But they're $6.99 a pack for the most popular ones. Like cherry cola, I've never had that, but that sounds nice. And they make 15 litres of water, apparently. So yeah, maybe that's an idea if you want to get into more water. Again, not sponsored. Wish it was, but you know what I mean. I'm just, it's just a shout out. You know what I mean? Just, if you need something that you want to start drinking more water, maybe that's an option. I don't know. I do hope that Air Up aren't unhappy with me recommending their product, but I did come off it, so I made it sound like a drug. Brilliant. They're probably never, ever going to pay me. Not that they had any obligation to, but you know what I mean? Just basically compared it to a drug. Anyway, that's an option. That is an option. New Year's resolution, water, drink more water. There you go. I've given you maybe an option for you to start drinking more water. Maybe. Another one is to drink less alcohol. For me, I don't drink a lot of alcohol, personally. There's a few people that I know in my family want to start drinking a little bit less alcohol. I don't really think anyone in my family is a big drinker. Really. I know of a few people that are big drinkers, and you know what I mean, they will go to the pub like pretty much every other day. Is what it is. Some people use it as a social occasion. Some people just go there to drink the place fucking dry. Is what it is. But yeah, another common New Year's resolution. I'll tell you what, let's get the statistics up. And this is from Forbes Advisor. Whatever the fuck that is. I'll put it on screen. So, research from Forbes Advisor has revealed that almost a third, 30% of Brits will be setting New Year's resolutions in 2024. The research revealed that a further 8% are yet to decide whether or not they will set goals for the coming year. The trend of setting New Year's resolutions is expected to be more widespread in 2024. Research reveals that in 2023, less than 1 in 5 people, 19%, set resolutions. Younger people are most likely to set New Year's resolutions, with more than half of those aged 18 to 34, which makes 51%, planning to set one in 2024. Meanwhile, over a third of individuals, 34%, aged 35 and age between 35 and 54, will be setting New Year goals, and just 12% of people aged 55 and above will be doing so. So, yeah, very clear that it's a kind of young thing, you know, millennial and Gen Z, about the only time we're going to team up. I don't even know what the generations are, to be honest. I've just completely lost track. What comes after Gen Z? Is it Gen X? No, that doesn't sound right, does it? I don't know. Let us know down in the comments. Not that I really give a fuck, but let us know. Overall, nearly 1 in 5 British people, 18%, feel under pressure to set New Year's resolutions. I completely agree. I feel like the entire reason that anyone actually ever does New Year's resolutions is because they feel like they have to. And then they become the most likely to break them just because they want to be included in, oh yeah, I'll start doing that. I'll start doing this. I want to, stop drinking. I want to go to the gym. I want to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. You're just doing it to be included. You're being a bit of a sycophant. I know I might have got that wrong. But you want to just be included in something, That's what I feel like a lot of people make New Year's resolutions for. They might have good intentions, but I'm just saying, the maths is very clear. It just doesn't work. The younger age group, 18 to 34-year-olds, experience this pressure the most, with over a third, 37%, acknowledging this sentiment. Among people aged 35 to 54, more than 1 in 6, 17%, feel similarly pressured, while only 4% of those aged 55 and above share this feeling. Geographically, the most enthusiastic goal setters are found in Liverpool, where 2 in 5, 40%, are planning to set resolutions in 2024. Following closely are Londoners, with more than a third, 36%, intending to make resolutions for the new year, while a third of residents in both Newcastle and Edinburgh, 33%, intend to do the same. Here we go, shout out to Norwich coming up. Right. Less than 1 in 6, 14% residents in Brighton have plans to set resolutions in 2024. Similarly, people in Norwich are less inclined, with less than 1 in 5, 18% intending to do so, followed by those in Plymouth and Glasgow, 19%. The majority of people, 57%, either have never set a New Year's resolution in their life or have no plans to do so in 2024. So, younger people make more resolutions. People in Liverpool and London tend to make more New Year's resolutions, or have done this year, compared to other areas of the UK, like Brighton and Norwich. And Plymouth, don't forget Plymouth and Glasgow. Interesting that, I don't know how far apart Glasgow and Edinburgh are, obviously both in Scotland. There's quite a big shift, isn't there? What was the percentage for Edinburgh? 33% to 19%. Yeah, fairly big shift. It's like Edinburgh's like, yeah, let's make some New Year's resolutions, and Glasgow, like, just fuck off. I've had enough of your shit, Edinburgh. Just fuck off. But yeah, it's very interesting that I would have thought that Norwich would have been, because it's it's an old city, but it's like, I feel like a lot of people in Norwich are young that live there. I would have thought it would have been higher, but maybe I'm wrong. So what are the most common or the most popular resolutions for 2024? A lot of these are going to be very, very self-explanatory, and you probably know all of them. There's a couple on here that I didn't think would be on here, and there's a few kind of low down that I thought would be higher up. So the one that takes up most of the percentage of people saying they make it their New Year's resolution is exercise more. So 40% say that they want to exercise more. That is their New Year's resolution. And followed by lose weight, which is 35%, very closely linked. And I'll tell you a little bit of a, it's not really a story, so don't expect any narrative piece here. Don't expect like a Stephen King novel, but it's a story nonetheless. So I can't remember what year it was now. It might have been 2020. Yeah, 2020. That was the year that Christmas was. I managed to enjoy that Christmas, but it was shit. It was shit, right? I was just leaving Aviva. I'd worked at Aviva. When I say I was leaving, I was basically told, you're gonna fuck off, or we're gonna push you out. So I fucked off. I won't go into the reasons why. I'm still a little bit, butthurt over it now. But anyway, so Christmas of 2020 coming up in December. I leave my job. Not a good time to leave your job, especially when you've just agreed to buy a house. Everything's gone through, and you're just waiting for the contracts to be signed and whatever. So I was literally panicking my tits fully off. So yeah, that wasn't great. But yeah, that Christmas, managed to have a good time because I do like Christmas. It's my favourite holiday of the year. It's probably a lot of people's favourite holiday of the year. I don't give a fuck about the other ones, to be honest. But yeah, I just made it full screen for people who are watching. So I leave / get sacked from my work or my job. So I'm now jobless, going into literally owning a home with a mortgage, banging, and I make the stupid decision at that point, New Year's, going into 2021. No, going into 2020. Sorry. At Christmas of 2019, going into 2020. Fucked it. But anyway. So going into 2020, thinking, right, now's a good time, to start getting fit or fitter and eating a bit healthier. It was doomed to fail because I was in such a shit place mentally that I was like, if I just say I'm going to do it, that'll fix it. That'll do it. Let's go. And lo and behold, it didn't. Never happened. If anything, it got worse. Like, I didn't eat healthy. I ate more shit. I was getting less and less, what's the word? Encouragement to try and get another job. When I lost the job, I was really trying. Like, I was fucking sending my CVs to every fucking place I could possibly think of that would have me, right? I went through a state of getting... When you apply for jobs, I feel like now, maybe it's a little bit better, but... Or maybe it's just the same. I don't know. I haven't done it for a while. But I was applying for jobs, and I wasn't even getting any response at all. Like, they'd ask me to send over a cover letter, CV, whatever. I'd do that. They wouldn't even say, nah, you haven't got the job. They'd just leave it. Whether they looked at it or not, I don't know. Never told me. So that was like, I would say, for a good 3-4 months, I was surviving basically on my savings. So yeah, the rest of December I would have been on my savings. January, January, February, then March came around, and obviously February we moved into the actual property where I am filming this from now, right? And then a nice thing called COVID came along, that was great. That put a great kind of twist on things for a lot of people, and myself included, which meant now that the whole interview process was completely just thrown out the window. If I was ever to get a kind of an email back to say, oh yeah, we might be interested, would you want to come for an interview? And now the whole ball game's just changed because of COVID, right? But I remember I got a job temporarily at a supermarket. Won't name them because they're probably not going to be looked well upon throughout this process, in my opinion. Bearing in mind, right, my New Year's resolution is just went out the window within the first week of 2020, straight away, and it's just getting worse. I'm almost going into the opposite direction of what I wanted to do, like, and not just like walking. I'm like going full speed the other fucking way. Right, so I get a job at a supermarket, stacking shelves. They want me to do basically temp work. I think this was in maybe March, maybe April. Might have been March. But yeah, I go there. They have an interview with me. The interview was literally, do you have a passport? I provided my passport and my driver's license. And they're like, cool, okay. Are you free for like a training day? I was like, cool, yeah, sweet. So I did the training day. I went back home after the training day to start the next day as my first proper day. The training day was like, as far as I remember it, it was just like basically, oh, this is how you pick up a box. This is how you don't stab someone. This is how you don't slip on wet floors. There's all that sort of health and safety bullshit. So the first day I get there, I'm meant to be stacking shelves in a certain area of the store. Bear in mind, I have worked for a supermarket before, so it's not like I didn't know what the fuck was involved. But yeah, I get there, I'm stacking shelves for about 10 minutes, and then they turn around and say, right, you need to go to Home Shop. They do all the basically get all the shopping for people who have their shopping delivered at home. You need to go and help them out. So I was like, cool, okay, whatever. So I do that. And I'm probably there in total for about 3 hours just helping out. This guy was training me on how to pick stuff up and scan it. And I'm like, I already told them that I had worked at another supermarket where I would do this quite regularly. Wasn't my job, but, you know, I'd help out because, you know, orders need to be fulfilled, whatever. And it was exactly the same. Exactly the same. But yeah, so I was put on there for about 2 or 3 hours. I then got pulled in to this random, I think it might have been like a farm, like they had a pharmacy there, right? And there's like a room where they can take your blood pressure and weigh you and stuff. It's, when I say it's a room, it's basically like a fucking closed off cabin thing. So I went in there. One of the managers I've never even seen or spoke to before just said, you're going to have to go home. And I was like, oh, why is that? I should preference this by saying, he asked me to weigh myself on the scales before he told me I had to go home. So I weighed myself. I was obviously over a certain weight. It was heavy. Let's be honest. It was heavy. Much heavier than I am now. And he said, you're going to have to go home because there's been new, guidelines set by the UK government. You're going to have to go home and you can't work. You literally can't work because of COVID. I was like, you fucking joking? Like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm doing the work. I'm fine. So that's how bad my New Year's resolution went, right? So bad that I don't know what the catchment weight or the cut-off point was, but I feel like I gained so much weight from the end of 2019 to March, April of 2020, I was like, wow, that's a New Year's resolution down the drain. So, yeah, fortunately, I then picked up a job a couple of months later, which I'm still in now. But, yeah, it was not a good time. That was a shit New Year's. That New Year's resolution went up in flames immediately. And I feel like it's probably not that strange of an occurrence, to be honest. Let's have a look. I'm sorry about the massive tangent. That was a tangent and a half, but story time. You just got to have them sometimes. So let's have another look at this list. Improved diet. Again, that's one that is always going to be up there, 33%. So with diet, I feel like people... With me... Again, short story time again. With me, improving my diet has been something I've done before. I've now kind of reversed. So I've lost quite a bit of weight before. I think the most I've lost is probably about 6, maybe 6, 7 stone, right? Which is quite a lot. Now, this was in 2016. I think that was like the lightest in my adult life, the lightest I've been. I remember I would literally have like one meal a day. I'd maybe have one snack, maybe 2 snacks throughout the day. And the snack would be like an apple with some peanut butter. It sounds gross, but it's actually really nice. Don't come at me for that, okay? Just try it before you slate it. That's all I'm saying. If you don't like apple or you don't like peanut butter, I understand. But yeah, I'd have like 2 snacks throughout the day, and then I'd have an evening meal. And my evening meal would normally be, I worked at a supermarket, and I would work quite late. So I'd finish at like 10 a couple of nights of the week. I'd literally just pick up like a stir fry kit and fuck off when I was leaving. And that's what I'd have, like maybe some rice noodles, a stir fry kit with like hoisin sauce, satay sauce, whatever I could get. And sometimes I wouldn't even get raw chicken. I'd just go to the cooked chicken aisle, get some cooked chicken, and fuck off home. Quite a lot of the time, you'd see some of that on the reduced section, reduced to clear, so I could get it even cheaper. Banging. So I basically lost most of my weight at that time by just eating better and eating less. And then I put all the weight back on, gradually getting bigger and bigger, gradually getting more and more healthy. And now I've kind of done the exact reverse of what I did, because I was kind of dead set against going to the gym at that point in my life. I just didn't feel like I wanted to do it. The only thing I would do maybe is like play sport or something every week, maybe a couple of times a week. But now I've gone completely the other way. I don't eat bad. I still only have 1 meal a day, but I don't eat. It's not like I'm eating a salad or I'm eating something you would consider overwhelmingly healthy. Like literally the other night, I had loaded chips. Like my homemade loaded chips, very nice. Like it was basically like chili loaded chips. Now there were some vegetables in it. There's a pepper, there's an onion, there's a bit of mushrooms. You know what I mean? But it's not it's not the best meal you could have. But I'm still losing weight because I'm basically using more energy than I'm refilling. Does that make sense? Fuck it. I'll go to the calories. It makes sense when you speak about calories. Right. I'm in a calories deficit, basically. I'm using more calories, I'm burning more calories than I'm eating, essentially. Now, could I do it better? Could I eat maybe 2 meals a day instead of 1 and have 2 better meals? Probably. But I feel like you got to do what works for you, and it's been working for me for a while now, so I don't really want to change it at this point. I will have to at some point, because as my weight comes down, the calories that I will be burning per day will come down too, because I'm carrying less weight around. So, there's that balance to strike. But I'm saying is, it's not just one way to do it. It is possible to do it the way I've done it. Preferably, you'd do it the way where you improve both at the same time. But if you feel like that's too much, I'm not going to give you the advice to do it, because I'm just not in any way inclined. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. So don't take what I say for gospel, but I'm just saying what worked for me. When I lost my first big chunk of weight, like at the end of 2016 was where I was probably my lightest in my adult life. So at that point, I had basically done no extra levels of exercise. No extra levels. The only time I'd go out was if someone invited me out to go and play football. A few of my mates would play football, or would go and I don't know, play. Do we even play rugby? I don't think we ever played rugby. Maybe tennis, maybe squash every now and again, but mostly football. But that wasn't like 4 days a week. That was like 1 day, maybe 2 days a week at maximum. Some weeks we never went out. So it is possible, and that way of doing it, in my opinion, is shit. I hated every fucking meal time that I had, because I knew I was basically surviving at that point, because I'd done no extra levels of fitness or exercise. I was basically surviving on about 1,400 calories, maybe at a push 1,500 calories a day, which it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot. Like a stir fry would probably be, if I put chicken in it, that would probably be like, depending on the portion size, that could be, 600 to 800 calories. So, yeah. But, again, I was in a calorie deficit, so it worked. I would say it's much more enjoyable what I'm doing now, because I can have food that I still consider to be not overwhelmingly healthy, but still food that I enjoy. And I do like stir fries. I'm just saying that I was having basically stir fries every night. Whereas now I'm having a much more varied diet, and I can have food that's not great, but I can still lose weight and do what I want to do fitness-wise. So, no, again, not advice. Not advice, I'm just telling you what I've done. Reduce stress. I'm telling you now. I know I've just said I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. Stress. Again, 24% of people wanted to reduce stress. I've gone to stress because that is, in my opinion, linked heavily with your exercise level and the food that you eat, personally. Obviously, there's other factors, like, if you got family stuff going on, other stuff in your life, that job can create stress. But a big part for me has been changing my exercise level. I feel like my stress has gone down, which is good, positive. Going back up to financial goals, I think that's a big one for everyone at the moment, to be honest. Like, I've never felt like right now more of a time to try and claw your fucking way to a financial goal. It's so hard. It's so hard. But what I'm saying with all these things is, I would personally wait after January to make these decisions, because January is like, by the end of January, you don't even know what the fuck's going on. Like, you don't even realise it's really 2024 yet. You're still writing 2023 down. I'll just wait. That's my personal opinion. That's what I mean by this podcast. I want it to be slightly uplifting. I don't want it to be doom and gloom. I don't want people to be down because they've failed at their New Year's resolution, or they've broken their New Year's resolution within the first few days of January. I just think it's a completely stacked against you time to make these sort of decisions and make these life choices, personally. Enhance emotional well-being. 22% of people want to do that. That's quite a good one. I think we all need to do that, to be honest. Make more time for hobbies. That was a big one for me. One that I do struggle to keep, to be honest, quite a lot, but I have stuck. Like, I still play guitar. I know one of my hobbies I mentioned in the VIP podcast that I haven't done for a while is gaming. I haven't gamed in like 2 months, best part of 2 months, and that's something I really enjoy doing. So I need to make time for that. Improve relationships. Again, another one. These are all very, very, I'd say, easy ones to guess. Improve career goals. I feel like improved career goals and financial goals are so heavily linked with, especially like our generation and maybe the generation below. Maybe the generation above have got different, sets of parameters that they need to apply to that. This is the one that I didn't think would be that high, but I don't do this. Maybe I should do this. Meditate regularly and mindfulness. 17% choosing the objective of meditating regularly as a New Year's resolution. I must admit, I don't do that. I don't even know the last time I do breathing exercises sometimes. Does that count as meditation? I don't do it every day. I'll probably do it maybe like once a week. It needs to be more than that, I know. But if I ever feel a little bit stressed, and it only works for a little bit of stress, if I'm like absolutely mega fucked off, then me going to, why don't you try breathing through your nose? That's not going to work, is it? You're going to turn around and fucking want to lump me one. So with a little bit of stress, if I get a difficult customer on the phone or something hasn't gone to plan, minor, no, breathe, slowly through my nose. That's what helps me sometimes. Doesn't work all the time. It's not like a one-trick fucking, a cheat code. But it works some of the time for me. Practice gratitudes. I'm assuming that means, thanking people and making people feel, that you're grateful for what they're doing or for what they've done. That's my guess. I don't know. I think, again, quite a lot of people want to do that, but again, that's higher up on the list than I thought. These three I'm about to read out, I thought would be way higher. Drink less alcohol, quit smoking, and reduce time on social media. I would love, personally, to reduce time on social media this year. I feel like I can't, though. I mean, I can, but I can't because, I'm literally making content for social media. And someone who, I must admit, like, I'm not, like, the most clued up on things. Like, I'm not, like, keeping up with the fucking beefs on YouTube and shit. I don't really watch anything other than what I subscribe to, really. I would like to spend less time on social media just because I feel like less time I can spend on social media is more time I can be perhaps gaming or, playing guitar or another hobby or trying to, exercise some more. Maybe do another day at the gym. Maybe I could make some more time for any of those other things on the list there that other people are clearly wanting to do. But yeah, quit smoking and drink less alcohol, I thought would be way further up the list. Again, that might be generational because I think smoking, as in like smoking cigarettes and roll-ups, I feel like that's dying out with the younger generation. I mean, literally, it will be gone. There's a certain point where you will never be able to buy cigarettes or tobacco anymore. But it's been replaced by vaping, so I don't know if quit smoking is just smoking cigarettes or whether that includes vaping or not. I would suggest it doesn't, but drinking less alcohol, I would have thought would have been higher, much higher. That's a very common one. And again, I feel like doing that, making these decisions at such close proximity to a time where you've just fucking drunk shit tons is just not a good idea. Personally, it's just not going to work. It doesn't work. I've never had the problem of drinking less alcohol. I just don't enjoy alcohol, really that much. I'll have like an odd beer or whatever, or a rum and Dr. Pepper, Captain Pepper. You gotta have one of them. But it's just not it's not my thing. Quit smoking. Smoking is one that I've done before. I've stopped smoking. I've started smoking. And when I say I've started smoking, when I do smoke, it's very small amounts. I'm not like having 20 a day. We're having like maybe 1 to 2 a day. But still, it's smoking. So yeah, that would probably be, if I was going to pick one that I haven't done already, that I would like to do. Maybe, I don't know, because making more time for hobbies is definitely high up on my list. So yeah, but obviously, the amount of smoke that you can minimise, the better. So yeah, I mean, I go through stages. I like not smoke for weeks, months, and then I just have a couple more. It's a shit thing to do. Like, I understand why it's being banned. I totally understand. It's just like, why are we selling this shit? But also at the same time, it's freedom. If people want to buy that shit, people want to do that shit, it's their money. It's their money. But yeah, let's have another swig of this lemon zero sugar. Made with real fruit. Made with real fruit. Not fake. No artificial colours or flavourings. There you go. Oh my god. Why is it so fizzy still? You know when you have like a fizzy drink and it almost feels like you drunk it and then it's come back up and it's coming out your nose? Why does it do that? Why? It's almost like we shouldn't be drinking it, But it is nice. Don't let what you've just seen there think that it's not nice, because it is. Please sponsor the pod. Cheers. Vive. Great. That's a great shot, that is. Lemon zero sugar. I do rate it though. Do rate it. I remember Christmas last year and the year before that and the year before that, I mentioned that I liked Fanta Lemon like once in a conversation, maybe. And I then got 3 years running like 48 cans at Christmas. 48 fucking cans of Fanta Lemon. I mean, I was buzzing, but I wouldn't drink them all in a year because I don't have them that often. I can't have Fanta Lemon. Like, I can't. Maybe the maximum I could have like in a row is 2, and I wouldn't drink them every day. So it was getting to the next Christmas, and I still had cans left over from the last Christmas. I might even have some cans still in my fridge there from the Christmas before last. So fucking hell. New Year's resolution: drink less Fanta Lemon, and that's one I did succeed in because I don't really drink it anymore. And if I do have like a carbonated drink, it is usually Pepsi Max. But we did get a soda stream, so I have got access readily available as long as I get the gas. The gas canisters are a bit of a fucking rip-off, if I'm honest. I mean, they're 23 quid now for a replacement gas canister. You do get £10 off if you take your old one in to a shop. But it's very rare that I do my shopping in a shop. I'll do it online mostly. So that means I've got to make a special trip to trade this old fucking canister in to get £10 off. But yeah, look, it is what it is. I like Pepsi. I like Pepsi Max Cherry. I do love it. So it was a good present. I got that the Christmas before last. And we've used it a lot. So again, I think it's about 100 quid. I'm not going to recommend it just because they're not sponsoring it. I've done enough fucking sponsored pieces without getting paid today. Done it. SodaStream. Others may be available. I don't know. But that's the one we got. If it takes your fancy, give it a look. I am massively upset that they don't do a kind of Dr. Pepper-ish flavour. They used to, called Dr. Pete. Fucking awful name. Who the fuck thought of that? Why? But Dr. Pete was the kind of knockoff version of Dr. Pepper, like the syrup that you'd put into the SodaStream. Gutted. I can't get that anywhere at the moment. Gutted. Because I want to try it. Apparently it's really good. Or was really good. But yeah. New Year's resolutions. Back to what we were talking about. Sorry. I've been sidetracked so much in this podcast. I hope you've kept up. I hope you know, if you switched off, I understand. Like, I know. There's tangents upon tangents on this podcast. But yeah, New Year's resolutions. The one thing I want people to take away from this podcast, if they do take anything away from our podcast, is that I don't want you to be down or fucking upset about breaking your New Year's resolution, because you are 100% not alone. 100%. And I'm about to basically, I want to just make you realize that doing it now is not a good idea, and doing it later might be better. So I'm going to read out some stats for you just to make you feel a bit better, because it made me feel better about New Year's resolutions that I've broken in the past. Right, so how long does the average New Year's resolution last? So Brits, again, this is about Brits, and if you're listening from, America, Australia, wherever you are in the world that isn't Britain, obviously we don't know. I'm sure the statistics for where you live are available, but I'm just reading about Britain. Brits who have successfully successfully stuck to their New Year's resolutions in the past claim to have typically maintained them for 4.5 months, extending their commitment through to mid-May. For 1 in 5 individuals setting New Year goals, 21%, their resolutions are likely to last less than 1 month. The largest portion, more than a third, 34%, state that their most recent goal has lasted for between 1 and 3 months. On the whole, almost 1 in 6 people, approximately 17%, stick to their resolutions for 4 to 6 months. Another 9% persist with their goals for 6 to 9 months, and 6% for 9 to 12 months. Despite the average New Year's resolution not standing the test of time, among those who have set resolutions in the past, more than 3 in 5, 62%, report that they have stuck to at least one for a year. I think that might be a lie, but, all these might be a lie. It's basically opinions at the end of the day. Notably, approximately half of Britons, 51%, has successfully maintained at least one New Year's goal over the long term, lasting from the time they have set it to the present. So it's about a 50-50 is what we're getting at here. 50-50 split. And I guarantee you that those 51% of people who claim that they have successfully maintained a New Year's resolution for at least 1 year I guarantee it's something like small, manageable, attainable, realistic. I don't think those people who set the goal of losing like fucking 10 stone in a year, because some people come up with some random, like literally the most unattainable, unrealistic goal, and then are absolutely just broken when it doesn't work. It's like, you can't, you've got to be like a bit more realistic. So maybe go for, your New Year's resolution is go for more walks, go out and do stuff more, go out and socialise more. Those are the ones that I think the 51% is including in. I don't think if these people made those resolutions on January the 1st or like the first few days in January, I don't think it would have been things like lose weight, exercise more, eat more healthy. So I'm just saying, if 50% of people fail and 50% of people succeed, there's going to be a lot of crossover. So don't feel bad for it. Overall, I've said it a couple of times, wait until after January. Even if you must set it in January, set it like halfway through. You got Christmas and New Year's is now not ancient history, but it is very much history. The decorations are down, all the food's gone, it's either been thrown away or it's been eaten, whatever. All the presents are like, fully away, aren't in arm's reach that for, the foreseeable future. You know what happens with, when I was a kid, I'd get a toy, love it for about a day, in the fucking drawer it went. Never saw the twat again. Never again. So, yeah, look. Just make it realistic. And it becomes more realistic if you give it a bit of time. If you just make the knee-jerk reaction of like, oh, I need to have a fucking resolution because everyone else has said they've got resolutions, I need one. That's where you just go, I want to lose weight. I want to eat more healthy. I want to go to the gym. Blah, blah, blah. Just think about it a bit more. Give yourself a bit of time to breathe. Then go again, And the important thing is, like, another thing that I don't know if they mention in this is, like, once people break, like, say you had the New Year's resolution of going to the gym, right? If you then go to the gym for, like, 2 weeks and then you break it, it doesn't fucking mean that you don't do it anymore, right? Just because you don't go for a week doesn't mean that you can't go for the rest of your fucking life. If you need a break from it, take a break. I've had a break. There have been a couple of weeks where I haven't been every single session. There's been a week where I only went for one session. I felt shit for it going back the week after. I felt like, wow, I really need to try and be as consistent as I can. You just don't beat yourself up for breaking something slightly. If you go for like 2 weeks and then never go again for like 2 years, all right, probably want to sort yourself out. But if you have like a week, 2 weeks, even a month break, it is literally the same effort you put in before. It's not any extra. It's not any extra. Unless like you're now having to crawl to the gym or you're having to crawl to the shop, whereas you had a car before. You know what I mean? It's the same journey. It's the same place. Just, I don't know. This is probably going to be completely ridiculous advice, but I was going to say, just fucking chill out about it. Do some breathing exercises. Breathe through your nose. That's a bit of ASMR for you. I mean, you can tell I've got a bit of a bogey up one end or one side of the nose. Do you know what I mean? Probably didn't need to know that, but you could hear it. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, just get your resolutions. If you want to call it, don't even call them resolutions, because I feel the more you try and tag on to this like fad thing that resolutions have been for what seems like fucking eternity, I think the more you will just see it as the fad that it is, and then just realise that it's not going to work. But yeah. Whatever your New Year's resolution is, or whatever you want to do, you want to improve or you want to stop, whatever it's going to be that's going to be positive for you and people around you, I wish you the best of luck. I really do. I wish you the best of luck. I wish you to succeed in whatever you want to try and succeed in. Whether it be stop drinking, going to the gym, doing more exercise, eating healthier, drinking more water. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Taking the dog for more walks, going off for more walks yourself, seeing family more, gaming more, playing musical instruments more, whatever it is. I hope and I pray that you give yourself time to do it and that you give yourself the best chance of succeeding in it, because it's going to be better for you in the long run. I feel, and I've said it before, I feel fucking so much better physically for going to the gym. Honestly, like, I was struggling. I wasn't struggling to walk, but if I walked for like 2-3 minutes consistently, I'd be fucking gassed out, man. And I wasn't even walking fast, not even uphill, just on flat ground. But now I'm a lot better. Like, if I walk for like 20 minutes, that's where I'm like, okay, right, this is getting a bit shit now. Bit shit. But going from that, like being out of breath of walking for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, to where I am now, it's just night and day. And I've done less than a year at the gym. Less than a year. I started in April and it's now January. So, yeah, just do what you want to do. Put your mind to it. Do it. Give yourself the best chance of it being success. And I really feel like the best chance you can give yourself is by picking something realistic and not doing it within the first few days of January. Pretty simple. That's my advice. But anyway, you might have a different story. You might be one of the people who, you know, decided like, right, I'm going to win Tour de France and I can't even ride a bike without stabilisers. And you just did it like the next year. You might have been that person. I don't know. Who am I to judge? I'm not going to judge you. If you can do that, that's a fucking sick thing to do. Go and do it. I mean, it took me about 3 months to learn how to ride a bike without stabilisers, but you know what I mean? That's just me. You might be able to do it in like 4 seconds. You might just come out of the womb with that knowledge. Be like, I don't need these stabilisers. I've got the balance of a gazelle. I don't even know. Do gazelles have good balance? I'd imagine they do. Gazelle, like if you say the name gazelle, you think, oh, that's quite, you know, quite a poised creature. Something that's got maybe half decent balance, good speed, can turn direction. Gets mauled quite a lot by some predators like big cats. But it's graceful. It dies gracefully. Where the fuck am I going with this? Who knows? This is what I mean. This is what happens when I do a podcast by myself. I'm given far, far too much room and space to just say what I am thinking. And it's not a good place. It's not a good place to be. But I don't know if I can change now because it's too close to January. It's pointless me making New Year's resolution because it won't work right now. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for listening. I hope you had a really good Christmas and New Year. And like I said, anything that you put your mind to that you want to do that you think is going to be positive for you or the people around you, I wish you the best of luck. I really do. And I think if you take the steps, or at least some of you, if you take the steps that we've discussed, I think you got a better chance of doing it. But more power to you. If you're doing it now, more power to you. Go for it. And let us know in the comments how your New Year's resolutions are going. Maybe there's a few of you that have already broke. It will be I'll try to make it as judge-less. That doesn't even make sense. There will be no judgment from me, at least, in your broken New Year's resolutions, because I've broken way, way, way too many to ever be able to be in a position to judge. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next one, if I can speak. Up the APMA. Bye-bye for now.